Good evening, man, or good morning, as it is for you. Today, I want to talk about relationships, or about why they fail. I'll start from my story. I was in relationships that lasted about 3 years. We've known each other for 5 years, but the relationships themselves were for about 3 years, and these relationships were sweet. They were amazing, and everything was doing great. And at the peak of our relationships, everything was seemed to be awesome. There was lots of love and affection. But fast forward about a year later, or even 6 months later, and there's coldness. Just coldness every time. I remember when my girlfriend was going to her university, when I was coming to meet her from the subway. She were always seemed happy. I was almost jumping when she saw me and smiling. It was beautiful. But later, when I was meeting her, there was just coldness, just nothing. And she was saying, "Hey, how are you doing? How was your day?" But there is no warmth inside of it. And thinking about that, uh, for me, the breakup was really harsh. It wasn't really any dramatic breakup. I just had to live to another country, and uh, several months later, we just decided that we should stay friends because we were thinking logically that it's big distance and I may be here for a while, and it would be better to just break up. But a month later, several months later, the pain just gradually came in because I started realizing that I could have made I could have made some mistakes before that. And right now, I'm thinking these relationships were imperfect. There were lots of times where we were hurting each other, but we I wonder if it could work out, if we could discuss some things, if we could make some uh, just basic conversations to understand each other's feelings. It would be fine if we would break up because of difference in our character, but at the time when we broke up, I didn't really love myself. I didn't really like and respect myself. So how could I expect from my girlfriend to respect me? And so uh, this breakup was really important for me because I learned a lot from it. I think I wouldn't be a person I am right now if not for this breakup, because I had to learn how to be independent, how to rely on myself in my judgment and my actions and decisions. But I would still want to point up the mistakes that I made in relationships that I wouldn't repeat later, and I hope you would not do the same mistakes that I did. Probably, if you eliminate such faults and mistakes, your relationships may prosper even when they seem desperate. Now, I want to say it's beforehand that you should know if your partner is just straight up disrespectful to you, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try, no matter how many conversations you try to make, maybe it's better for you to break up because you should think about in a long term. Probably if you're having fun and dating, it is not that important. But if you're planning to do it for long term, to get married, to last for years, then probably you should try to make sure that you want to stay with this person for a while. That's my opinion about it. I cannot say because I haven't been married yet, but I think so. But so if you really respect yourself, you should want your partner to respect you. But if you don't really feel fine about yourself, then maybe it will reflect on your partner. So here are some things that you need to eliminate. Let me welcome back. So here are 5 things that, I think that's 5 things that I would change if I was in relationships once again, and what mistakes I think I made in the previous relationships. The first mistake, I think, it's what's called in the book The Way of the Superior Man. It's called depolarization. Uh, the book The Way of the Superior Man says that there is masculine energy and feminine energy. And masculine energy shows itself in following your goals, your principles, your mission, and just going straight forward. And the feminine energy is more the creative energy that just spreads out all the way. Oh, I'm sure you already know what the archetype for a masculine man and feminine woman looks like. And so when a person is very masculine and another is very feminine, there is an attraction, like magnets. There's north and then south, and they attract each other. However, if they stay together for way too long, just physically together, they become depolarized. The woman may become more masculine and the man may become more feminine. And so they become just friends. They still together, they still like each other, they still support each other, but there's no literal attraction between them. And so if something minor happens, they may just say, okay, let's just be friends, let's go away. And by the time you return your masculinity that you wanted, it may be too late, and you will not bring the relationships back. So try to check yourself if you're becoming depolarized. Try to stay alone or with your male friends for a longer time. Try to follow your mission for a longer time without being influenced by your partner. For example, for me, it was the problem that for about 6 months I was doing everything in the same room where my girlfriend was. And I was sitting at the table and thinking that I maybe should work, but my girlfriend was resting, and it is fine because she was working hard during the week, and so she was resting, just chilling, watching her phone. But at the same time I thought, well, if she's watching phone, maybe I can watch my phone as well, maybe I can scroll for some videos or something else like that. And so time after time I was doing it, and I think my girlfriend started thinking that, oh my god, he's not doing even basic things that he promised to do. And so she was taking some masculine responsibilities, and so depolarization happened. We became just friends, just slowly, no angry screams, no broken dishes, just friends, nothing. And it's like slow cold death for the relationships, I think. So try not to be depolarized. Try to stick to your mission. I think if you have some sort of mission, some sort of goal, or something that you do completely alone or with without your partner, then you should take more time following this rather than relationships. And the most paradoxical thing is that you will still it will still not harm the relationships if you still trying to contribute to them. So you may even 15 minutes of just of being with your partner after 6 or 8 hours of hard work is better than 8 hours with your partner while trying to do the work at the same time. So keep yourself polarized. Now, the second mistake. I think the next mistake that I'm going to describe is going to fall into some sort of a triangle. I call it masculine ace because uh, I cannot come up with a better name. If you have a better name, please write in the comments. It's triple ace because it consists of three parts. It's let me remember. Yeah, it's authenticity, assertiveness, and awareness. Now, start from authenticity. Authenticity, I think, is the quality of having some goals, having some principles, having some sense of the mission, and following your own path. So you know who you are, you follow your heart, you're not trying to pretend who you aren't, and if something goes wrong, you know that you've chosen this path. And the opposite thing of this that may happen in the relationships is that you don't have any mission, you don't have any goal, or you have some goals but they are created by some other person or maybe by your partner, and you just try to please them. And so your main mission, which is not actually a mission, just maybe even an addiction, becomes seeking validation from your partner. And that is the problem, because it seems so perfect, because you think, well, my mission is to satisfy my partner, and so if I satisfy my partner, it's two birds with one stone. I follow my mission and my partner is happy because I do everything for them. But it is actually, most of the time, it's just the opposite thing, because when you try to please your partner doesn't feel that good. They feel unsure in the relationships. Your woman may think that they don't want to be put on the pedestal. They want to feel that they're going with you and not running away from you while you chase them. And they feel, what if something happens to her? Does it mean that you just lose your mission, lose your focus? They don't want such responsibility, and no one wants such responsibility. It's terrible to think that someone is just doing everything, living, breathing, just for you. It may sound romantic, but when it comes to the practical things, it's a really bad thing, because it just shows that you have no inner core outside of this person. So for this authenticity, try to just follow yourself. I think I did some previous videos about this, and maybe I will do more videos later, but just try to be alone for some periods of time, to just have your own thoughts, to be aware of them, to focus on breathing and try to understand what do you really want. And you may not even 100% be sure. You may find some goal or some interesting thing to do, and you may not be sure that it's 100% your mission right now, but it already gives you the sense of direction. You may take this path and go towards it. And speaking about going towards it, there's the mistake number 3 that comes from the assertiveness. For me, assertiveness means when you have your goal, you go towards it. It's your ability to go towards some goal that you set without stopping. It's your ability to use your strength and your tenacity to just go forward no matter what. And the opposite thing to the assertiveness is feeling like a victim. It's just saying, it's circumstances. I've tried everything, but there's nothing I can do. And there's nothing that is possible to make. And also you may say, well, why did my partner put such burden on me? It's their fault. They should try to do something. And you may say, Or you may just do something just again to please your partner, and you may say, well, I did enough work, I just want to rest. Why does my partner annoys me and asks me if I worked enough or something similar to that? I think you may have had some situations when you just when you feel that your partner is always asking such annoying questions about what are you doing and how's your day, and you don't want to ask about how your day because you didn't do anything, and so you start to be defensive and say, why do you ask me such questions? Well, they ask you some these questions because you don't show any assertiveness. You don't show that you're sure in your goals. You don't show that you actually follow them. And it's it looks terrible because you may sound so amazing that I have such mission to help people to go forward. I will help everyone I see. But the moment you start doing something, it actually turns out that you're not doing anything. You just show that you're trying to do something, but nothing happens. And it's very unattractive trait. It just kills your not just attractiveness from your woman, but your own feeling of self-worth and self-respect, because you know that nothing happens. And so the cure for it would be to just do it. Just do some small steps every day. For example, for me right now, I would say that making such videos, trying to help other people, trying to maybe eventually create community of people who would help each other, this is my mission right now. But it shouldn't be something very grand like mission, create a community, maybe to get million followers on YouTube. I think even making some videos 3 times a day, I mean 3 times a week, saying some ideas that you have in your mind, maybe that's enough for you. It's again comes to the first stage, to the authenticity. You should be authentic with yourself and you know your own strength, and tell to yourself, are you fine with that? If you're fine with such level of assertiveness, with such level of the work you can do, then do it in your own way. And if your partner doesn't agree with that, you may just say, well, you don't agree with that, but I'm still doing it my own way. It's my own mission, and if you don't like it, well, you should consider thinking about whether you want to stay in such relationships or not. It may sound harsh, but your partner should know what to expect. Maybe you will continue this mission for years, and for years you're gonna live in this lifestyle until you maybe hit the jackpot. So your partner should expect it, and so you should focus on such assertiveness and such authenticity as your own qualities, even if your partner doesn't like it. At least you will know that this partner will stay for you no matter what, or it just stays for you for not what you are. And it's always better. I mean, it's the only way to live happy life is to be who you are, even despite pushing some people away. Now, I say now a lot. The fourth mistake comes from the third part of this triangle. It's the third part is the awareness, and the mistake is lack of such awareness, lack of self-awareness, a lack of empathy towards your partner. So lack of self-awareness comes probably from the things I mentioned before. So when you don't think about your own faults, when you're trying to blame someone else, when you're trying to say that you are good and everyone else is bad, there's the lack of your own self-awareness. And also when you don't control your emotions, when you get angry, when you get just annoyed at everything, when you get judgmental, it's all lack of self-awareness. And the other awareness comes towards your partner, the empathy. And the empathy is maybe one of the things that you lose over time. Because when you start the relationships, it feels that you just understand your partner. I mean, you understand your. It's like you understand your partner telepathically. Just know every thought, and you understand them perfectly. But over time, you lose this feeling of understanding. You get this first magic of the relationships disappears over time, and you feel that mm, you start losing this sense of empathy towards your partner, and you don't think about them, and you start hurting them. And the problem is maybe one day they try to add something to the relationships, and uh, say they try to save the relationships, and they try to go and do some compromises. They go for some compromise, but you don't even notice it. They may try to be more helpful in your usual life. They may try to become more attractive and fulfilling your desires in sexual life, but you don't notice it. You just think, wow, that's amazing. She gives me all these gifts to me. And but you never notice that it may be painful or hard for your partner. You never ask, are you okay? How are you feeling? If your partner comes grumpy from their work or their studies, you may just ignore that or joke around, but they may be hurt inside and you don't notice it. You just think, oh my god, they grumpy again. Why are they doing this? Can they be just happy? Well, that's your lack of awareness towards other person. So try to focus on your breathing, try to get into this meditative state, and try to really understand your partner. I mean, I think you want them to be the second half, but you just put the second half, uh, you just separate you from them, and that's a bad thing. If you want to be with your partner, you need to consider them just a, uh, you need to I forgot how to say it in English, but basically you need to consider them just as much a part of your soul as you consider yourself a part of yourself. So if they have some problems, you should feel about them as your problems as well. It shouldn't be the mindset I versus you, me versus my partner. It should always be the mindset me and my partner versus some other problem. So anytime you feel anger or they feel anger, you should stop and say, hey, let us work on it together. Let us try to solve it together, and maybe we will come to the solution that will satisfy both of us. So that's the awareness. And now the fifth thing is just the thing that surrounds all this triple A triangle, and it sounds very simple, but it's true. It's the lack of love, just lack of love. You may think, well, that's the problem. If I had all the love, there wouldn't be a problem. I wouldn't watch this video. But actually, love is not just this magical feeling that comes from the start of your relationships and then just goes away because of something. Love is actually an action, and not physical action, but a mental action. The same way that you're grateful for what is happening in your life and what is happening around you, you should be in the same time be just as grateful for that with your partner, because you after some time you may get used to your partner. It just comes normal that, well, there's my partner and they're just here, some person nearby. It gets kind of boring for you, but you always forget what it was for you the first time you met them, how magical it was, how much they brought you in right now. You may think, well, but they are not like that right now. They changed. Maybe they changed, but again, there may be the reasons described below. I mean, before, and actually, you may still love your partner, but you still care about them. I mean, if you watch this video, it means that your partner is really important for you because you keep watching it.